Good morning and many thanks for joining us on News on the Hour on Plus TV Africa. I'm David Alabi. Now we begin our news bulletin with reports that the Independent National Electoral Commission (INEC) has issued certificate of return to Senators-elect Ahmed Keita, representing APC Katsina North, and Lawal Yahaya Gumal, representing APC Bauchi South, elected on Saturday in by-elections. The Commission, in a statement issued by its Director of Publicity and Voter Education, Olawale Osaze Uzi, in Abuja on Monday, said both men were elected in the by-elections in their respective constituencies. The Bauchi election was held to fill the vacancy created by the death of Senator Ali Wakali, while the Katsina election was meant to fill the vacancy created by the death of Senator Mustapha Bukar. Chairman of Nigeria's Independent National Electoral Commission body, Professor Mahmood Yakubu, gets reprieve as the Court of Appeal sitting in Abuja, Nigeria's Federal Capital Territory, suspends bench warrant ordering his arrest. The arrest of the INEC chairman was initially ordered by Justice Stephen Pam of the Federal High Court, also sitting in Abuja, criticizing his failure to appear in court on 3 different occasions. However, Justice Abdullah Buki of the Court of Appeal suspended the order, adjourning the case till mid-September.
Judiciary is sufficient to sustain the democracy in Nigeria. So there should be no lawlessness, there should be no impunity, there should be no recklessness, either of executive or legislature, because judiciary is alive to its responsibilities. They have now stayed further proceedings in the High Court. They have also suspended the execution of the bench warrant issued by the judge, and we'll come back to argue our appeal on the 17th of September.
Still talking about some judicial proceedings, the Makurdi High Court on Monday restrained the new Speaker, Titus Uba, and other principal officers of the House from carrying out official duties. The court also restrained the Uba-led House from entering and sitting in the State Assembly complex. Other principal officers of the House restrained are the Deputy Speaker, Majority Leader, Deputy Majority Leader, as well as the Chief Whip. Given the restraining order on a motion ex parte brought by the impeached Speaker Tekibe Ikiange, Justice Theresa Igoje said the order is made in the overall interest of justice. It will be recalled that the new Speaker last Wednesday took possession of the Assembly complex after the withdrawal of policemen from the complex. President of the Senate Bukola Saraki on Monday met Nigeria's former President Olusegun Obasanjo in Abeokuta, the Ogun State capital. The meeting, which was held behind closed doors, lasted more than an hour and a half. Details of the meeting were not made available to journalists. It was the second visit to a former Nigerian leader that the Senator Saraki has made in a week, following last Wednesday's press conference on the sideline of the DSS officials blocking the National Assembly. Last Wednesday, the President of the Senate also visited former military leader Ibrahim Babangida in Minna, Niger State. To some health matters now, the Ondo State government has approved 5 more mother and child hospitals to render qualitative healthcare services to pregnant women and under 5-year-old children at no cost. Dr. Wahab Adegbenguru disclosed this on Monday night after the weekly State Executive Council meeting. He added that over 500 health facilities across the state would continue to serve as a mini-center for the vulnerable. The commissioner also said that the SEC approved upgrading of the State School of Health into College of Health. To some sad development now, no fewer than 19 corps members were injured on Monday on a lone accident involving a Nissan civilian bus at Danko area of Shagamu along Lagos-Ibadan Expressway. The injured corps members were traveling to their places of primary assignment in Ota after the 3-week orientation exercise which ended on Monday in NYSC Camp Shagamu. NAN reports that the injured corps members, comprising 9 males and 10 females, were treated at nearby Julius Berger and FRSC clinics, while 4 with critical injuries were taken to the teaching hospital in Shagamu. No life was so far lost in the accident. Clement Oladele, Ogun Sector Commander of Federal Road Safety Corps, who confirmed the incident to NAN, blamed the accident on speed violation. The FRSC official advised passengers to always caution drivers against overspeeding, especially during the raining season. Nigerian youths have come under fire recently over a number of social issues mitigating their ability to positively engage themselves. These range from unemployment to lack of skills, not excluding being pawns in the hands of fast-talking politicians. To this end, Nigerian youths have been urged to take a stand and participate not only in politics, but also in every sphere of national development. Our Plus TV correspondent, Edidiong Iwang, tells us more.
Earlier this year, the European Union decried what it termed the shortage of Nigerian youth participating in partisan politics. Well, shortly after that, President Muhammadu Buhari signed the Not Too Young to Run bill into law. With a voting population of 95.8 million, youth population accounts for 63%, and that is 60 million of the voting population. Well, that's according to the Independent National Electoral Commission. On the sidelines of the International Youth Day designated by the United Nations to draw attention to a given set of cultural and legal issues surrounding youth, youth in Lagos have gathered here to create awareness on the importance of the permanent voters card. With the passage of the Not Too Young to Run bill and calls for youth inclusion in politics, youth have been urged to get involved in politics now that they are young.
So I think what is key is for young people to get involved in governance. You know, find your space. If you're aiming to get to the top of the ladder, you must start from the bottom at least. So if you're aspiring to say one day I want to be the governor of my state, I want to be the president of this country, get into it early, get into politics early, you know, and then grow in that system.
I'm encouraging the youth. If it is the politics is the way forward, then we should cheat in. We should see in the politics. There's not any party that chase away youth. Did you hear any party in Nigeria chase away youth? No. Did you hear any party in Nigeria that youth, when they don't welcome them? You go there. Follow a gradual process.
With electoral season fast approaching, Nigerian youth have been tasked with the responsibility of making their votes count and not selling them.
2019, we don't expect young people to sell their votes. We don't want them to take money for their PVCs. We want them to go out to register for their PVCs. It closes in Lagos on the 17th of August. If you're not happy with the status quo, the most powerful thing that you can do as a citizen is to get your PVC, is to vote, and to make sure you sit and protect your vote.
All said and done, it is hoped that come 2019, there will be a shift and youth will take a stand and participate in the democratic process of governance. Edidiong Iwang, reporting for Plus TV Africa.
The rest of the news continues in just a moment. Don't go anywhere. Glad to have you back, and if you're just joining us, you're watching News on the Hour on Plus TV Africa. Now it's time to bring you news making the rounds around Africa. A senior press secretary to Ugandan President Yoweri Museveni said on Monday evening that the president's car came under attack by opposition supporters in the town of Arua, where a by-election is to hold on Wednesday. Photos shared by Don Wanyama show that the rear mirror of the president's Toyota V8 had been smashed in the attack. He did not comment whether the president was hurt or not. The information came barely an hour after a popular lawmaker, Robert Sentamu, also known as Bobby Wine, posted on Twitter that police had attempted to kill him. Local media portals are reporting that Bobby Wine has been taken into police custody. Voters stayed away in droves from Mali's runoff presidential election due to fears over security and simple apathy. But the voting process was generally fair in spite of a number of incidents, elections monitors have said on Monday. The vote pitted President Ibrahim Keita against opposition leader Somalia Cease after an inconclusive first round in July. When Mr. Keita won about 41% of the vote, official second round results are not expected for a few days, but Mr. Keita, also known as IBK, is predicted to seal a second term in office. Meanwhile, Mr. Cease has already said that he's accused the government camp of cheating in the first round on Monday, again alleging fraud, and said he had won. The legal secretary of Zimbabwe's ruling ZANU-PF party, Paul Mnangagwa, has said its lawyers will respond to the opposition's court challenge of the election results by Wednesday. President Mnangagwa, who had previously said he was convinced the opposition have no case, spoke on Monday when the country was celebrating their Heroes' Day. President Emmerson Mnangagwa, while officiating the national ceremony, urged Zimbabweans to unite to rebuild the economy. In his first national address since being declared winner after a disputed presidential vote, Mr. Mnangagwa blamed the main opposition, the Movement for Democratic Change, for the post-voting violence that saw 6 people being killed after the army stepped in to kill post-election protests this month. At least 40 people were killed by security forces in Ethiopian city over the weekend, a senior regional official has said on Monday. The victims were all ethnic Oromos. The perpetrators were members of a paramilitary force, said Negeri Lencho, spokesman for the Oromia State Administration. The area has been plagued by instability since then. When we return, we'll bring you the news on the new defense policy being signed by President Trump, the firing of FBI agents who criticized Trump, and many more. Don't go anywhere. On the foreign scene, U.S. President Donald Trump has signed a $716 billion defense policy bill on Monday that authorizes military spending and includes watered-down controls on U.S. government contracts with China's ZTE Corp and Huawei Technologies Company Limited. Some lawmakers wanted to use the bill to reinstate tough sanctions on ZTE to punish the company for illegally shipping products to Iran and North Korea. But the restrictions included in the final National Defense Authorization Act that passed Congress were weaker than earlier versions of the bill. President Trump has lifted an earlier ban on U.S. companies selling to ZTE. In his response to the bill, Huawei said in a statement to Reuters, Huawei supports the U.S. government goals for better security, but this random addition to the NDAA is ineffective, misguided, and unconstitutional. Peter Strzok's, the FBI agent who came under fire from President Donald Trump and other Republicans for sending text messages that disparaged the candidates during the presidential campaign, was fired late on Friday, his attorney said on Monday. Mr. Strzok's attorney, Eitan Goldman, said in a statement that FBI Deputy Director David Baldich made the decision to terminate Mr. Strzok. He also said it went against promises that FBI Director Christopher Wray made in the past about adhering to proper processes on personnel matter. President Trump took to Twitter not long after the news broke on Monday, saying the list of bad players in the FBI DOJ gets longer and longer. Mr. Goldman said that his client's firing was politically motivated and that his text represented political speech, protected by the First Amendment. A former Australian Archbishop, the most senior Catholic cleric in the world, convicted of concealing child sex abuse, was spared jail on Tuesday when he was ordered to serve his one-year sentence at home. Newcastle Court Magistrate Robert Stone allowed Philip Wilson, age 67, to serve his detention at home after an assessment by prison authorities due to a range of health issues, including heart disease. Mr. Wilson is to start serving his detention on Tuesday in New South Wales State and will be eligible for parole in February 2019, the court said. Philip Wilson resigned as Archbishop of Adelaide in July, 2 months after being convicted. Pope Francis named Bishop Greg O'Kelly to run the Archdiocese of Adelaide until a new Archbishop has been appointed. It's now time to bring you business reports with Edidiong Iwang. Stay tuned.
This is Business News and I'm Edidiong Iwang. Well, the 3 tiers of government have shared a total of 3.5 trillion naira as statutory allocations in the first half of 2018. Now, this includes the distribution of 668.9 billion for the month of June, and that's according to data from the National Bureau of Statistics. The federal government took 1.7 trillion, representing 49% of the distributed funds, while the states took 1.1 trillion and that is 3.1%, leaving 795.52 billion to the 774 local governments. The amount disbursed in June comprised of 575.48 billion naira from the statutory account and 93.42 billion from the value-added tax. Our research conducted by FSDH Merchants Bank says although the inflation rate may continue to drop, it may remain in double digits in 2018. Now, FSDH research expects the inflation rate to end the year in the region of 10.4%. The head of research at FSDH, Ayodele Akinwumi, says while expecting inflation rate year-on-year to drop to 11.01% in July from 11.23% in June, the expected decrease in the rate will largely be attributed to the base effect of the previous year. Well, according to him, the fact that food index is one of the three major drivers of inflation in the country and facing crisis-induced pressure in food-producing states, it is a major risk to the achievement of a single-digit inflation rate in 2018. On the activities of the Nigerian Stock Exchange from yesterday, our business correspondent Irene Ubani brings us up to date on all the trades and deals that took place.
The first trading day of the week at the Nigerian Stock Exchange started on a negative note as the all-share index deepened by 0.10% to close at 35,410.61. Leading the list of top gainers was Mobil, which gained 4 naira from its last close of 176 naira, a 2.27% rise. International Breweries also gained 1 naira 45 kobo, which was a 4.53% rise from its previous close. Guinness had a 4 naira drop in its share price to close at 90 naira, a 4.26% drop, while Flour Mill also had a 60 kobo drop, a 2.44% decline. Transactions in the shares of UBA topped the activity chart with 30.59 million shares valued at 288.3 million naira. Market capitalization stood at 12.9 trillion naira and total deals on the trading floor was 3,120. Irene Ubani, reporting for Plus TV Africa.
Well, that's it on business news, but still to come is a roundup on entertainment and sport. Don't go away.
And in entertainment, the Moms at War premiere took place over the weekend on the 12th of August precisely, and it turned out to be quite a glamorous affair. The event took place at Lekki Film House with the red carpet starting at about 5 p.m. and the movie itself started at about 8 p.m. The dazzling event saw the likes of Omoni Oboli, Funke Akindele, Abayomi Alvin, Denola Gray, Ruth Benamasia Opia, Chioma Chukwuka Akpota, Eukaria Anunobi, amongst many others. Moms at War is about two mothers who live in the same neighborhood but hate each other. It's a story of friendship, sisterhood, and bonding in spite of everything. Our entertainment reporter, Ife Oshunkeye, was at the event and caught up with the director of Moms at War, Omoni Oboli, who spoke about the challenges in making the movie.
What was the challenges directing this movie you faced?
Well, in all honesty, we didn't have that many challenges.
Yeah.
Aside from the regular ones, location issues, you know, you go to a location that agreed that you should shoot there a month ago and you go there on the day and they're like, sorry, you can't shoot here anymore.
Oh, okay.
So you have to think on your feet and like, where else can we use? Okay, so we don't lose the whole day, you know. So apart from those little challenges, it was pretty much a smooth.
Also present at the event was the lead actress herself, Funke Akindele. Here she is talking about the challenges she faced while working on the project.
So that was a beautiful movie. We enjoyed every scene. I will know you're a great actress. But what was the challenges when you were making this movie? What were the challenges that you were making?
Okay, I create content. I'm a producer for C1 TV, C1 Productions, and getting time to work on other people's projects is actually challenging for me. Leaving my production to come work on another set, it's quite difficult. But seeing the script, I fell in love with it. It's a beautiful one. It's totally different. Anyone can relate with it. So I jumped on it. So that's the only challenging part, my busy schedule. But I suppose that.
With all of the glitz, glamour and the turnout, the event was a smashing success. Still on entertainment, the director of great movies such as The Training Day, The Equalizer, The Magnificent Seven, amongst many others, Antoine Fuqua, has revealed that Sony and Disney have approached him to make a superhero movie. According to the renowned director, the only problem would be his amount of interaction with his art, as all the visual effects, in his opinion, tends to take away the director's vision. Fuqua revealed that he has been approached by Sony to work on the upcoming film Morbius, starring Jared Leto as the Spider-Man villain who is a vampire. And that's it on entertainment. The very best in sports right after this.
Hello and welcome to Sports Update on Plus TV Africa. I am Udoka Njoko with the biggest stories in the world of sports. In tennis, the former world number one Andy Murray looked rusty as he suffered a first-round defeat to Lucas Pouille at the Cincinnati Masters, losing 6-1, 1-6, 6-4. And this was only Andy Murray's fourth tournament after missing nearly a year out with a hip injury. And 2 weeks ago, Murray pulled out of his Washington Open at the quarterfinal after only finishing his last 16 win earlier the same day. He also withdrew from the Rogers Cup so as to continue his recovery. And elsewhere in the first round, Kei Nishikori defeated Andrei Rublev in straight sets, and Denis Shapovalov defeated Frances Tiafoe in a trailing 7-6, 3-6, 7-5 victory, while 13th seed Pablo Carreno Busta defeated Richard Gasquet 6-3, 2-6, 6-3. And five-time European champions AC Milan have allowed Manuel Locatelli join fellow Italian Serie A side Sassuolo on a season-long loan transfer. And the 20-year-old joins Sassuolo for a fee of €2 million with the option of a permanent transfer for €12 million. And it was unveiled ahead of the club's league season opener against Inter Milan at the weekend. And AC Milan also confirmed the deal via their official website as the club praised Locatelli for his contributions in the club's famous colours. And Locatelli will be expected to feature for the Azzurri squad when they host the 2019 European Under-21 Championship next June. And France World Cup winner Presnel Kimpembe has penned a new 5-year contract until 2023 with Ligue 1 champions Paris Saint-Germain. And the PSG youth team, the team product, broke into the first team during the 2016-2017 season before enjoying a breakthrough season where he started 27 league games and wrote the club's title-winning feat. Presnel Kimpembe featured once for France at the just concluded FIFA World Cup tournament in Russia. And Italian Serie A giants Inter Milan have completed the season-long loan signing of Senegalese international forward Keita Balde from AS Monaco. The 23-year-old returns to Italy with Inter Milan after one season at the French Ligue 1 outfit, where he scored 8 goals in 23 league appearances. And its contract includes an option of a permanent transfer for €42 million plus a percentage of any future transfer. And Keita Balde joined the 2016-2017 French champions from Italian capital club Lazio last summer, and he also recently featured for Senegal at the 2018 FIFA World Cup tournament in Russia. And that's it on Sport Update on Plus TV Africa. I am Udoka Njoko.
There you have it, and Sport Wraps, or news roundup of events at this hour. For more news updates and broadcasts, please follow us at Plus TV Africa on Facebook, Twitter and Instagram. And do remember to subscribe to our YouTube page, that is Plus TV Africa. We'll be back later with more stories making the headlines. Remember to join us again. I'm David Alabi. Do have a great day. Bye for now.